Welcome to Shop Strategy, the deep dive that helps you make smarter decisions for your Shopify store. This deep dive is powered by Growth Suite. Growth Suite helps you run smart discount campaigns on your store. Test it for free on your Shopify store. Today, we're tackling a topic it's really the backbone of any thriving Shopify store. Using your Shopify analytics, moving beyond just guessing and actually making decisions based on real data. We'll be digging into information from the shopstrategy.com to show you how. You've told us you want to get smart, fast, and find those aha moments without feeling like it's buried in numbers. So that's exactly what this deep dive is designed for, helping you unlock the hidden potential in the data your Shopify store is already collecting.
Yeah, and what's really interesting is seeing store owners make that shift, going from, I hope this works, to, okay, the data shows this is working. It's really about making your store itself a source of deep understanding about your business.
Right. So our goal today is to explore the must-know aspects of Shopify analytics, from the tools you already have to understanding the key numbers that really matter, and ultimately how all this knowledge translates into real growth opportunities for your store.
Okay, so let's get into the why of all this. Why is paying attention to your analytics not just like a nice to have, but absolutely essential? It's about switching from, I think this might work, to I know this works because the data says so.
Absolutely. And if we zoom out a bit, using data to guide your decisions, it really touches pretty much everything in your store. We're talking product placement, inventory management, even where you put your marketing dollars.
Yeah, think about those nagging questions. Why are shoppers leaving their carts full? Which of my marketing efforts are actually paying off? What's it really costing me to bring in a new customer? Analytics? Well, they hold the keys to those answers. Our sources point to 3 core ways analytics really work for your Shopify store. And one of the most exciting ones is how data can uncover hidden growth opportunities, things you weren't even looking here. There was this great example of a store owner. They noticed a really high cart abandonment rate from international visitors. So they added a simple currency converter. Problem solved. And boom, a 28% jump in sales, just from seeing that pattern in the data.
That's huge. And then there's measuring your marketing return on investment, your ROI. It's about making sure your marketing spend is actually generating revenue, not just, disappearing into a black hole.
Definitely. And think about understanding customer behavior. Every click someone makes on your site, it's a clue about what they like, what they're looking for, maybe what's tripping them up. Gathering those insights is just gold for creating better experiences and turning browsers into loyal customers.
And one of the best things about Shopify is that it comes with a pretty impressive analytics system built right in. Seriously, even on the basic plan, you get access to data that, other platforms might make you pay extra for.
That's a key point. It's not just having the data, it's how integrated it is. The analytics are connected directly to your store admin, so you can see an insight and then immediately go make a change. That tight feedback loop is incredibly efficient.
No, sure, you can get specialized tools like Google Analytics for, super deep dives. But Shopify's own system, it strikes a really good balance, plenty of depth, but still easy enough for most store owners to use effectively. And you can always layer on those other tools later as your business grows and your needs get more complex. Okay, let's take a quick look under the hood, the main parts of that Shopify Analytics dashboard.
First up, you've got those customizable metric cards. Think of them as your personal highlights reel. You get to pick the KPIs, the key performance indicators that matter most to your business right now, and put them front and center.
And then there's the data visualization charts and graphs, your best friends for turning rows of numbers into visual patterns you can actually understand at a glance.
Right. And the way it's structured with report access links is really smart. Each little card or chart on the main dashboard, it usually links to a more detailed report. So you can easily go from that quick overview to a much deeper analysis when something catches your eye.
Exactly. The whole dashboard is really designed to give you quick answers. How are sales? What's selling well? Where are people coming from? Now, it is worth mentioning that the depth of analytics you get access to does depend on your Shopify plan.
Yeah, that's important. Let's break it down quickly. Basic Shopify gives you the essentials. Think sales trends, customer acquisition basics, behavior on site, inventory, good for getting started. Then the standard Shopify plan adds more professional reports. Deeper dives into marketing, customer retention, product analytics, things like customer lifetime value, which marketing touch points led to sales, that kind of thing.
Okay, getting more sophisticated.
Then advanced Shopify unlocks custom report building with something called Shopify QL. We'll definitely talk more about that later. Plus, even more advanced marketing analytics and really granular sales data, Lets you slice and dice things your way.
And for the big players,
Shopify Plus, that's enterprise-level stuff. Predictive insights, advanced segmentation, specialized reports for high-volume stores, and you often get early access to new features.
but the good news here is that even on that basic plan, Shopify provides a really solid analytics foundation. Honestly, it's often better than what you'd find on some platforms just focused on e-commerce analytics. And like we said, you can always upgrade as your needs grow. So that analytics overview dashboard, that's your command center, right? Your starting point for checking the pulse of your store.
Exactly. And it generally breaks things down into three essential categories of KPIs. First, sales metrics. Obviously, total sales is key, but also keep a close eye on your average order value, or AOV. This tells you how much people tend to spend per order. Tracking AOV shows if things like your upselling or cross-selling efforts are actually working. We've seen examples where adding smart product recommendations boosted AOV by up to 20%. That's significant.
Definitely. What's next?
Then you have order metrics. It's not just about the raw number of orders. Look at your returning customer rate. That's a fantastic indicator of customer loyalty and the overall health of your retention efforts.
Makes sense. And the third?
Visitor metrics. Things like sessions, how many visits you're getting, and crucially, your conversion rate. The conversion rate shows what percentage of those visits actually result in a purchase. Looking at sessions and conversion rate together tells you whether you need more traffic or if you need to improve your store experience to convert the traffic you already have.
Right. Looking at these metrics individually is useful, but the real power comes when you start analyzing them together.
Absolutely. Say your total sales are going up, great. But if your conversion rate is dropping at the same time, that might suggest you're getting more visitors, maybe from a new campaign, but something on your site isn't quite clicking for them, preventing them from buying.
Good point. Now, that default dashboard is helpful, but you can make it way more powerful by customizing it, focusing it on what truly matters for your business right now.
For sure. You got a few options there. You can add and remove metric cards. So maybe during a flash sale, you want conversion rate and AOV right at the top. After a new product launch, maybe it's that product's specific sales data.
Tailoring it to the moment.
Exactly. You can also just rearrange the elements. Drag and drop your most critical metrics so you see them first thing. And setting default date ranges is super useful. Compare this week to last week, or maybe this month to the same month last year if your business is seasonal. Match it to your business cycle.
Yeah, and those comparison views are golden. Seeing current performance versus a previous period helps you instantly spot trends, or if something weird is happening, like a sudden drop or spike. Okay, so the overview gives us the big picture, but sales analytics let us dive deeper into how the store actually generates revenue.
Right. And one key report here is sales by channel. Understanding which channels like your online store, Facebook shop, Instagram, maybe even point of sale are driving results is crucial, especially if you sell in multiple places.
So looking at this, you can see, okay, which channels are my top performers? Where are the hidden opportunities? We heard about a beauty brand. They saw their AOV was way higher on Facebook shop than their main website. So what do? They adjusted their Facebook product mix to feature more of those higher priced items. Smart.
Totally. But remember, it's not just about the sales volume from each channel. You got to factor in the cost. It's about the return on investment, the ROI. A channel might bring fewer sales, but be way more profitable.
Good point. Okay, let's talk sales by product. This is where you can often find those really big aha moments.
Oh yeah. Key things to look at here. Your best and worst performers. This usually shows that classic 80-20 rule, a small number of products driving most of your sales. You also want to track performance trends over time. Is a product's popularity growing?
Yeah.
Fading? Is it seasonal?
And connecting that to inventory.
Absolutely. Linking sales data with your inventory insights is vital for making smarter purchasing decisions and avoiding stockouts or overstocking.
And you can go even deeper, right? Look at profit margins per product, maybe return rates.
Exactly. The really savvy owners use all this product analytics data to inform strategic decisions everywhere. Like, what products should we bundle? What should we feature on the homepage? What cross-sells make sense based on what people are buying together?
It all comes back to knowing your products and how customers interact with them, which leads us nicely into customer analytics. Because ultimately, e-commerce success really boils down to understanding your buyers.
Couldn't agree more. And that starts with customer acquisition metrics. How are you getting new customers in the door and where are they coming from?
Key things to watch here. The split between new versus returning customers. You need both for growth, right? New customers expand your reach, returning customers drive profitability. A good benchmark people often aim for is maybe 25–30% of revenue from return buyers.
That's a solid goal. You also need to understand your customer acquisition cost, or CAC. How much does it cost you, on average, to get one new customer? And crucially, how does that compare to their potential lifetime value? Is your growth sustainable?
Right. And then looking at traffic sources and referrals, which channels are actually sending visitors who convert, not just visitors?
And digging deeper there, analyzing the quality of customers from different sources. You might find, say, organic search brings fewer customers than paid ads, but maybe those organic customers spend more over time, higher long-term value.
Interesting. Okay, so that's getting them in. What about once they're on the site? That's customer behavior analysis.
Exactly. How do they interact with your store? Key metrics here include looking at shopping patterns and preferences. What products do people view together? What do they buy together? This can give you amazing ideas for merchandising and product recommendations.
Like finding natural bundles.
Precisely. Also, measuring purchase frequency and customer lifetime value, CLV. This tells you about loyalty, how much a customer is worth to you over the long haul. And all this behavior data helps you spot segmentation opportunities, natural groups of customers you can target with more relevant marketing.
We heard a great example. A kitchen supply store. They thought pros were their main buyers, but the data showed enthusiastic home cooks were actually their most valuable segment based on purchase frequency and AOV. That insight completely changed their marketing focus, data telling the real story. Okay, so once you've mastered the basics, Shopify offers some seriously powerful tools for digging even deeper.
Yeah, for folks who really want to ask specific custom questions of their data, the Shopify QL query editor is, well, it's a bit of a game changer. It basically lets you query your store's database directly, almost like having a data analyst on your team.
Shopify QL. That sounds maybe a bit intimidating.
It can seem that way, but it's actually designed to be fairly intuitive. The structure is logical, and there are helpful templates to get you started. It's not like learning complex SQL from scratch.
So how does it work? You have a business question.
Exactly. You start with a question like, which blog post led to the most sales last quarter? Then you translate that into a Shopify QL query. The platform helps guide you on the right metrics and dimensions to use.
And you can start simple and build up.
Absolutely. Start with basic queries, and as you get more comfortable, you can build more complex ones. And the best part, you can save queries you use often, so you can run them again with just a click.
Okay, so you use Shopify QL to ask the question. How do you build the actual custom report?
It's part of the same process. Within the editor, you select the metrics you want to see, the dimensions you want to group by, like time, product, or channel, apply filters to narrow things down, and then you can save that configuration as a custom report. Makes it easy for you or your team to access the same tailored insights consistently.
Can you give an example of how a custom report might make a difference?
Sure. Think of an apparel store. They use Shopify QL to compare conversion rates for people who found products via site search versus those who browsed collection pages. The custom report showed that search users were converting at a much lower rate. That told them their search experience wasn't great and they needed to improve it. That's a specific, actionable insight from a custom query.
Got it. So beyond Shopify QL, there are other specialized report types too.
Yeah. Shopify offers several report categories designed for specific areas. Let's touch on a few. Acquisition reports focus entirely on how people find your store. So detailed traffic source analysis, marketing campaign performance. And this is where using those UTM parameters on your marketing links is so critical for seeing the true ROI of specific campaigns.
Tracks it right back to the source.
Exactly.
Wow.
And referral tracking, seeing which other websites send you valuable traffic. Comparing customer lifetime value by acquisition channel is super insightful here too.
Okay, what about behavior reports?
These drill down into how visitors interact within your store. Helps you optimize the shopping experience. Think on-site search analysis. What are people searching for? Are they finding it? Tracking navigation paths, how do people move through your site, and page performance metrics, which pages are engaging, which have high bounce rates.
Like that electronics retailer improving their About Us page based on conversion data?
Precisely. It reveals friction points.
And finance reports. That sounds like more than just sales.
It is. It gives you the bigger financial picture. Sales broken down by billing location, details on taxes and payments collected, and importantly, analysis of refunds and returns. Remember that retailer who optimized payment options? They likely used finance reports showing abandonment linked to specific payment methods at checkout.
Right, seeing the whole financial flow. Okay, looking at all this data, Rows and columns can be overwhelming. Visualization is key.
It's absolutely essential.
Yeah.
Turning raw numbers into charts and graphs makes it so much easier to spot trends and patterns. Shopify offers the usual suspects: line and bar charts for trends and comparisons, pie and donut charts for proportions. And things like tables and heat maps can be great for showing more detail while using color to highlight important areas, like that home goods store, seeing sales by category and time of day.
So how do you choose the right chart?
Good question. Generally, use line charts for time series data tracking sales over months, for example. Bar charts are great for comparing distinct categories like sales per marketing channel. And maybe histograms or bell curves if you want to understand the distribution of something, like order values.
Makes sense. Match the visual to the data type.
And often the best approach is combining different visualizations on a dashboard. One chart shows the trend, another breaks down the categories, maybe a table gives the specifics, tells a more complete story.
Okay, this is all great, but analytics are only valuable if you act on them, right? Let's talk about turning these insights into actual optimization strategies.
Exactly. Data without action is just numbers. A huge area to focus on is conversion rate optimization, or CRO. Small tweaks here can have a big impact on your bottom line.
So how do you approach CRO systematically?
One effective way is to unbundle your conversion funnel. Break down the journey. View product rate, add to cart rate, checkout starter rate, purchase rate.
Find the leaks in the funnel.
Precisely. Track the drop-off at each stage. Are lots of people viewing products but not adding to cart? Maybe product descriptions or images need work. High add to cart but low checkout. Maybe shipping costs are a surprise.
Okay, so you find a potential weak spot. How do you know if your proposed fix will actually work?
That's where the A/B testing framework comes in. It's about testing changes scientifically. You create two versions, A and B, of a page or element, show them to different segments of your audience, and see which performs better against your goal, like conversion rate.
Right. Set up the test, run it until you have enough data, statistical significance, and then roll out the winner. And critically, your test ideas should come from your analytics insights, not just random guesses.
Absolutely. Like that supplement store hypothesizing reviews higher up would build trust. That hypothesis came from analyzing user behavior or conversion data, leading to the A/B test.
Makes sense. What about inventory and product management? How does analytics help there?
Hugely. You can use analytics for inventory planning. Identify seasonal demand shifts, forecast future needs more accurately based on past sales trends, and set optimal stock levels to minimize both stockouts, lost sales, and overstocking, tied up cash. Remember the kitchen supply store reducing overstock? That was analytics-driven forecasting.
So it's about predicting demand better.
Yes, and also product performance analysis beyond just inventory. How are customers interacting with specific products on the page? Look at page views, time on page, conversion rates for specific variants, like colors or sizes. This can even inform future product development. We mentioned the apparel retailer seeing a low conversion rate for one color variant. That's product performance analysis telling them something's off.
Got it. And of course, marketing channel optimization, focusing your ad spend where it works best.
Definitely. It's about rigorously evaluating marketing ROI across all your channels. Use those UTMs religiously. Understand attribution models which touchpoints get credit. Then allocate your budget based on proven return, not just traffic volume. Like the beauty brand realizing email, well, maybe less traffic, had way better ROI than Instagram, and shifting focus accordingly. Data drives the budget.
And related to that is using data for more targeted marketing, moving beyond one size fits all.
Right. Customer segmentation for targeted marketing. You can create segments based on purchase behavior, high spenders, frequent buyers, first-time buyers, people who buy specific categories. Then develop personalized marketing strategies for each segment. Send tailored emails, show relevant ads. It's much more effective.
Like the home decor store emailing outdoor furniture buyers about new patio accessories makes perfect sense. Now, Shopify's tools are strong, but sometimes you need more, right? Integrating third-party analytics tools.
Yeah, absolutely. While Shopify covers a lot, other tools offer different perspectives or deeper dives. Google Analytics integration is still pretty standard for most stores.
And you need to set up that enhanced e-commerce tracking correctly in GA to get the good stuff right. Installing the code, tracking events like add to cart, setting up goals.
Exactly. It takes a bit of setup, but it unlocks much richer data within Google Analytics. And then you can leverage Google Analytics for advanced insights, deeper audience analysis, creating really custom reports, maybe blending GA data with Shopify data for a super comprehensive view. Like that furniture retailer finding a slow-loading tool issue for specific users via GA, something Shopify's native analytics might not have shown as clearly.
Okay, beyond Google Analytics, what about more specialized tools?
There are lots. Heat mapping and session recording tools are fantastic for visualizing user behavior. Heat maps show clicks, scrolls, mouse movements visually. Session recordings let you watch playback of actual user visits. It helps you see where people get stuck or confused.
Like the clothing store finding that unclickable icon on mobile via a heat map.
Exactly. Simple fix, big impact, found visually. Then there are customer journey analysis tools.
Tracking the whole path, even across different devices or sessions.
Yep. These tools look at multi-touch attribution, how different channels contribute to a sale over time. They map cross-device journeys. Integrating this with Shopify data gives you that holistic customer view, like the electronics retailer targeting comparison shoppers they identified through journey analysis.
It seems like your analytics focus should probably change depending on where your store is at in its life cycle.
Absolutely. Priorities definitely shift. For starter Shopify stores just launching, the focus is really on establishing baselines and getting early feedback. Key metrics. Where's your initial traffic coming from? What's your starting conversion rate? What are those first customers saying? It's all about validate, then scale.
Like that kitchen gadget store focusing on their top 2 sellers first.
Right. Then for established Shopify stores, maybe you've been running a year or two, the focus shifts to optimization and building loyalty. Key metrics become customer retention, cart abandonment rate, AOV. You start scaling based on data, expanding winning product categories, targeting valuable customer segments, maybe testing pricing.
Like the home goods retailer targeting cross-category buyers.
Exactly. And finally, for advanced Shopify stores really scaling up, it gets more sophisticated.
Yeah.
You're looking at enterprise-level approaches, predictive analytics, really optimizing for customer lifetime value, advanced cohort analysis, maybe even bringing in machine learning, and integrating everything, especially if you have physical stores too, omni-channel analytics, unified customer data platforms, seeing the customer seamlessly across all touch points.
Wow. Okay, so the landscape keeps evolving. How do you future-proof your analytics strategy?
Good question. Part of it is adapting to platform changes. Keep up with Shopify updates, test new features, adjust your reporting workflows, and think about data continuity. If you switch tools or platforms, how do you preserve historical data and maintain consistent reporting?
And the elephant in the room,
Hmm,
privacy.
huge. Privacy regulations and analytics compliance are non-negotiable. Stay informed on GDPR, CCPA, whatever applies to your customers. Focus on ethical data collection, transparency consent. First-party data is becoming king. It's about balancing personalization with genuinely respecting user privacy. It builds trust.
Like those beauty brands making privacy a selling point? Okay, wow. We have covered a ton of ground today, from the absolute basics of Shopify analytics right through to some really advanced growth strategies. I think the biggest takeaway is just that data in your store. It's incredibly valuable. It holds so many insights. It's really about learning how to read it and then, crucially, how to act on it.
Absolutely. And that really leads to a question for you listening. Thinking about everything we've discussed, what's maybe one area of your Shopify analytics that you're now feeling inspired to dig into a bit more deeply?
That's a great prompt. We've definitely just scratched the surface in this deep dive. There are always more layers, more insights to uncover. Remember, understanding your data truly is the foundation for making smarter decisions and achieving that sustainable growth we all want. And speaking of smart decisions, if you're looking for an intelligent way to boost conversions and protect your margins, do check out our sponsor, Growth Suite. Growth Suite uses your store's data to run personalized, time-limited discount campaigns, the kind that convert those hesitant buyers without just giving away margin unnecessarily. It has some really unique features like dynamic discount codes that adapt based on visitor behavior, real-time tracking, and insightful funnel reports showing exactly how your campaigns are performing. You can test Growth Suite for free on your Shopify store today. It's a great way to start turning those data-driven insights directly into more sales. You've been listening to Shop Strategy.